Okay, now talking about what's going on with Israel. As you know by now, there's a big old war going on between Hamas and Israel. Not a shock, though, that the media decided to run with the story and post it everywhere without looking into the facts first. See, they try to say that Israel basically um, killed 500 people and throwing bombs at a hospital. But the truth is that this happened in a parking lot, and there what 500 people was not killed. In fact, there are sources that are saying that it was actually the Hamas who shot it and it was misfired. But one big thing that mainstream media of America has a big, huge problem doing is just taking a story that I think sounds good for their personal agenda and just run with it. I guess they're not ashamed of showing themselves to. Yeah, they basically have to take L's over and over and over again, but I guess they're never gonna learn because they're just gonna keep doing it. They don't care if what they say in their stories is truthful or not. All they care about is the agenda. All they care about is supporting the left, and that's it. Does this surprise me? No. But with what's going on with Israel, I wonder if this is going to be. I wonder if this is going to make a closer push to the treaty. The treaty that's prophesied in the book of Daniel. I mean, I know they would. I know that. I think it was Palestine or Iran. It was. I think it was Palestine or Iran. I can't remember. But down in the Middle East, they were already trying to make some treaties with Israel, and I guess the Hamas was trying to put a stop to that. But I wonder if this war is going to push the peace treaty to come into play more even more so. Now, do I think that the Antichrist might possibly come up now? I say it's quite possible, but I'm not sure quite yet. I'm still watching and just observing things and see where it goes from here. But you are going to hear a lot of people say a lot of different things on this subject. There's a lot of people talking about, Ezekiel 38 with this situation. Um, there's people saying things are going to change, basically in the government, that God has these 50 angels that represents 50 states that have assignments to turn things around, so to speak. You got different people saying different things. But for me, I just want to stay as close to the Bible and what the Bible says as much as possible. But in my personal opinion, I think this whole thing between the Hamas and Israel could definitely make a close push to the peace treaty. And also, I think it would also be good timing for whoever he is, say Antichrist, to pop up because, like I said, he's going to say he's all about peace. That he's all about peace. He's all about being a uh, political hero, so to speak. So, in my personal opinion, I think he is going to pop up very quickly. That he's going to very soon reveal himself. Now, you got many different people that's got different theories on who it is. And I know some people say that about Trump. And I already said, my personal opinion on that. I don't think it's Trump. But do I think that Trump could be used to introduce the person? I think so. Because uh, whoever the Antichrist is, I could be wrong, but my personal opinion, I think he's going to be someone of a Jewish descent, because this person's going to have to convince the Jewish people, that he's a Messiah. But I think he would probably have the charisma like Trump. That he'll probably have the charisma like Trump, that he'll kind of sort of have a personality like Trump. Maybe not exactly. He probably wouldn't be as much as he wouldn't be foul mouthed and stuff like Trump. Maybe he'd probably be a mixture between Trump and a regular politician. You know, like he would be considered more presidential. Like I said, I could be wrong, but that's just my thinking. You know. But more and more, I'm just thinking that we're getting closer and closer to a tribulation period. Am I right? Maybe, maybe not. God knows. Because again, you got a mixture of different people saying different things. You got some people saying we're getting closer and closer to tribulation, and you got other people that are saying, "Oh, it's not happening just yet." God said in this vision, that vision, that there's going to be peace for a while. It's not quite there yet. You got different people saying different things. Like I said before, you got so many people on YouTube saying they had visions and dreams from God, saying this or that. And like I said before, you've got to be careful who you listen to on things like that, because there's so many, you know, I mean, there are a lot of people that I've seen talk about it. They're talking about the Great Tribulation happening very soon. And then you got others like Kat Kerr, which I know for a fact you should not believe her. She tried to proclaim that tribulation was not going to happen for another 50 years. But she was the same person that said that Trump was going to be president in 2020. And when that didn't happen, she changed her tune and said, "Oh, he's gonna beat God is gonna put Trump in office in 1 year. He's gonna overthrow Biden out of office. He's gonna put Trump back in office." And that didn't happen. She changed her tune again. So again, you gotta be careful who you listen to. But in my personal opinion, just looking at what's going on, and also, I do agree. I do agree with John Hagee on some things. One of those things being of what he said about the four blood moons and the eclipse. That I agree with. And there's going to be there's already one eclipse. There's going to be another eclipse happening next year. In fact, the eclipse that happened just now, someone took a picture of it, and it looks like you can see the Star of David. When you see, I wish I can, I wish I could figure out how to post it on YouTube or whatever. But someone took a picture of the eclipse, and you see kind of like sun rays around it that looks like the Star of David. I mean, if that's not a sign in the heavens, I mean, but yeah, me personally, I think we're getting there. Also, I'm also thinking about that, and I'm also thinking about the fact that they're about to examine the 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 red heifers that arrived to Israel about a year ago, because now they have to examine each one of them to see which ones are would be considered pure enough to do the animal sacrifice. Why? Because they're talking about building the temple. And as says in the prophecy, that the Antichrist will come into the temple and proclaim himself as God. So it's all in the works. I think we're getting closer and closer and closer there. I know a lot of people want to hope that God is going to turn everything around when it comes to the United States. He's going to do these big miraculous things. But I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, I don't want to call a lot of people who are saying these, false prophets and stuff. And like for me, I just, I just sit and look back and watch and see what they say comes to pass, kind of thing. So I don't want to call them uh, false prophets, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm a bit skeptical. I am. I, I'm just like seeing that everything else is going on. I'm just very skeptical of that. But I mean, when it comes to that, what do you personally? I mean, what do you think? If you're a Christian, and you're observing all this, especially if you know a lot more about prophecy than I do. I mean, where do you think we're where we are exactly as far as prophecy goes? And do you think those people might be right that God's going to turn things around America, or do you think we're heading more toward judgment? Because I think John Kahn has got it more right. I mean, he said that America is basically following the same pattern as old time Israel did. And if you remember, old time Israel, because they never turned around, they got invaded. They got overtaken by Babylon. And honestly, I mean, I told you about the dreams I had about the Asian army coming in to invade America, and in the third one I had, they was in cahoots with Russia. And I just keep hearing, that China's in cahoots with Russia and this and that, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to wonder if those dreams actually mean something. I mean, like I said, I didn't want to proclaim they were prophetic because I didn't know for sure. And I still don't. So I don't want to say they are and then be wrong, but the closer and closer, the farther down we go, I'm starting to wonder, were these dreams really, did they really mean something? I just wish I knew. But but either way, I just, with the people that are saying that God's gonna turn things completely around for America, I, I'm skeptical. I'm just skeptical. Me personally, I think we're heading right down the lane to tribulation period. That's what I'm thinking. And I could, if you've been studying prophecy, tell me what you think. But either way, as far as Israel goes, we need to pray for them. We need to pray for the people of Maui. We also, we have to pray and pray without ceasing. And we have to pray for more understanding and revelation what's going on biblically, in these times. And we need to prepare ourselves. Mentally, spiritually, we have got to prepare ourselves for what's ahead. And as far as rapture goes, I already said I have no idea if it's pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib. I think all three sides have very great arguments for it. So I'm not really picking a side, so to speak, of when I think it'll happen, but I do believe that there will be a rapture. And what I feel on it is that we should be prepared either way. We should be prepared to stand for the Lord either way. Pre-trib, mid-trib, post-trib, we should be prepared and be willing to stand for the Lord, stand for his word, no matter what. So that's where I stand with that. I mean, some people might call me a coward for not choosing a side when it comes to the rapture, pre-trib, post-trib, mid-trib. Some people might say she's just taking the easy route. If they want to say that, that's fine. But that's where I stand on it, and I'm not changing my mind on it. Like I said, I think all three sides have very good arguments. And honestly, I'm not sure which one I want do believe. I'm just being honest. But for me, the most important thing isn't, when the rapture happened. The most important thing that it's going to happen, and that there will also be a tribulation. So for me, the most important thing is for us to be prepared. So, yeah. But we need to pray for Israel, and also we need to remind ourselves, remind each other, and also say to Israel, God has always fought for Israel. He's going to fight for Israel again. He's never allowed any nation to completely destroy Israel. I mean, Israel has been around for many years. Yes, God allowed them to be invaded. Yes, God has allowed other nations to destroy some of the people, but he's never allowed any nation to completely take over or, take Israel out altogether. God has always reserved a remnant in Israel. He has always reserved, the people to keep to keep the 12 tribes going. And God has also promised, in the book of Revelation, that he is going to fight for Israel. I can't remember the verse exactly, but I know that Jesus is going to come back the second time, the second coming. And, he's going to defend Israel. And then there'll be a new Jerusalem. There'll be a new Jerusalem, and all be well. But God is going to fight for Israel. He's going to help Israel. And as far as Palestine goes, we should not also act like that the people of the Palestina is our enemies. Yes, I do understand and recognize that sadly there are a lot of them that do truthfully want to take out Israel, but I don't think the case is true for every single one of them. Okay, I don't think, in fact, a lot of people from Palestina are very much upset with what the Hamas has done, and a lot of them are saying free Palestina from Hamas. So we should not, judge all the Palestinian people. We need to pray for them as well, and pray that even for those that are lost, we should pray for them to come to Christ as well. And even we need to pray for all of them to have some sort of revelation from Christ where they'll come to him, if they for the ones that may not, that are from Palestina or Gaza. Pray for Israel's protection. Pray for all the captives to be set free. And pray that also that God not only stops the Hamas, but that he'll also show them the truth. But either way, we have to stand for them, for Israel, and stand, for our faith and love in the Lord. Pray it all be well with you all. May the Lord be with you all. Shalom.